we go, let me check. Recording the go and skadoosh. Hey there everyone. Welcome to Phobia S16. Doing Neophobia. It's afraid of the unknown. I keep wanting to say it's afraid of new things because, well, we're in version 1.12, not any fancy versions. Any fancy version. This is a fancy version. You don't normally see this because most good proportion of other RRs stick with just a 1.8. So to go with the fear of the unknown, we have a secret teams of 3 timed teams. So at some point, I didn't really listen. Yeah, at some point, I think episode 4, we will be given some extra. We will be given our teams, and we can start communicating there. Fear of the unknown. There is no F3. But in order to help us all navigate ourselves around the map, as you might have seen earlier, there are a few beacons placed around, just at 00, and I think any variant of chords containing either 500, and 0 and 500, so all negative variants of that, and on the pedestals itself, excuse me, yep, it'll give you directions towards the other beacons. So from where I am, purple is off that way towards the sun, sunrise is in the east, that's in the west, so purple's in the east, and I think this is south, so yeah, brown is in that direction, so that'll be our ways to find ourselves around this map, which you might also have seen for Neophobia. It's anonymous, so we're all disguised as the big man Marky Ross. May he rest in peace. He's not dead, we just lost contact with him. He may return, but I wouldn't hold much hope for it. Maybe one day when the world needs Marky Ross the most, he will deem it time to return. Till then, he remains a mystery. Other game modes include Naked and Afraid, so anyone wearing armor, you will not be able to see what they're wearing. I think I got everything. Sorry baby, I'm killing you mother. I need that flesh. Alright, so got some feathers, got some leather. I'm looking for some reeds, and then we might be able to get it going. So we've got the updated combat. Excuse me. Editing me. Get rid of that. No one say that. Yeah. So we've got the updated combat. I'm at the very least familiar with it, as a few people. I don't know why I pressed tab. I can't show you. A few people in here are familiar with it because Sonic Joey has hosted a few private games of 1.12.2. But one of the conveniences of those private games that isn't here is that, which I actually quite liked, and I think is being added in the next combat update, but I'm not too sure, is that in this version at the very least, holding up a shield negates all damage from bows, but on Joey's server, it's got a fancy little thing called bow chip, in which holding up a shield to deflect a player projectile, player arrow, will reduce incoming damage by only 90%, which was done because, well, it basically, otherwise melee was just the only way to realistically play on that server, because all fights just had melee enforced regardless of whether people wanted to or not. So for the purists in there, that's kind of, you know, it's not exactly 1.12 in there for them, but considering that the majority of the group came from the old 1.8 side, you'd have, you know, how combat as you see in most RRs, give or take a few exceptions. I feel like that's a healthy balance, because it's at the very least maintained other players' interests, so I quite like it. I think it's a good addition, so. But yep, we don't have a convenience like that here. I hold up my shield, arrow go brr. Speaking of, need to get as many chickens as I can, because I don't know if double arrows are a thing, but I don't want to be caught out if they aren't. As of right now, I'm just on the search for reeds, because that is the one thing holding me back from enchanting. Since it's time teams, depending on when I get enchants, I will go ahead and make them myself. If I find them like midway through Ep 3, I obviously won't. I'll just wait until I can run into a teammate. So. But yeah, if I find it immediately in Ep 1, go ahead and make it. Find it early Ep 2, go ahead and make it. There's a other one of that. There's the reeds I need over there. Okay. Oh yeah, no, I did mention no F3. But yeah, let's go with that. I know roughly where I am right now. I know that's one of the 0500 beacons because it just wasn't turned on immediately, but like beyond that, I'll still be struggling to find my teammates come F4. So I would like many more reads if that's still possible, because books are something that I would very much like to get a hold of. So, with it being naked and afraid and people not being able to tell armor, I'm going to be wanting to, at the very least, buff as much as my diamond gear, if I get any, up as good as possible, which is, you know, I tend to prioritize armor over weapons. I'll get something to be tier 3, depending on the kind of game or how it's going. If I don't have a bow, I'll prioritize a sharp 3. If I have a bow and a good amount of arrows, I'll prioritize power 3. Generally lead power 3 over the other, but hey. But like, beyond that, I'm the kind of person who I'd rather have good armor than better weapons, so just how I am. Don't know if that's like a good way to be going about doing things, since I think like the meta and the 1.8 in the article and all that is just, if you are going up early, rushing a sharp 3 diamond. But I don't know, because I don't really play it too much. I only see a few highlights that pop up on the subreddit, so I don't really play too much of Arctic because, well, skill gap is a thing. And yeah, little old me gonna get squished. Big boys and chief out there, they won't be taking no prisoners. So yeah, I feel like I'll play every now and again if people ask, but no one ever asks, which, you know, not too big of an issue there. Because this is going to be a high traffic area, I'm just going to get rid of all the passive mobs around here. I'd rather I have them than no one else, so I'll be doing that and keeping them to me, because I'm a greedy boy. Sun's setting, so I need to start getting some wood real quick. The iron right there, so depending on how much that is, that's probably like shield immediately, then a bucket, just so that I don't have to rely on finding water. So hopefully it's full. Yeah, it solves that problem. Alright, grab a few more chickens around this area and we'll head into the swamp and get cutting down trees. Alright, I've already left it a bit late, but hey. Yeah, I will want some apples, and swamp is one of the best places to get them. The trees here are a bit bigger, but that's like common knowledge at this point, except this swamp kinda sucky. Yeah, I haven't seen anyone at all. I've wandered a little bit, but I've just wandered in between the beacons, so at the very least I've had a landmark within sight, you know. Not 100% of the time, but like, I'm moving across pretty, well, the more easy to navigate areas. Follow a straight line, blip, blip. So I've seen blue, white, brown and purple, so... no wait. Blue, white, purple, pink and brown. So any of those colours, I should know. There's a lot of subs for this because good amount of people didn't want to turn up, probably because it's been 1.12, so. Give the lad a little bit of a hand. He might be my teammate after all. Alright, that is my friendly advice given out. What are you gonna ask for money for it? So my advice is pretty obvious and not worth it. Oh, there's plenty of apples already. I'll probably have like enough from just this, but yeah. Yeah, shield and bucket. I just want to get those done first. Don't want to be caught without a shield, and I don't want to trust the game to give me a bucket. Yeah, I've played enough S&P so that I know what I'm doing, so I don't particularly have to worry too much about anything. I don't think anything particularly is going to catch me out too horrifically. I just need to play PvE relatively safe, which, hey, I can probably do. Yeah, I'd like a few more because I do want to go ham on books. Because tier 3 diamond armor, wow, that's pretty wild. Do want me a bit of that. So yeah, axes are a thing in PvP, so a lot of people tend to defer to them because they do more damage. I am in the mindset of, they do more damage, but I still prefer just sticking with the sword. Like, I will always go in for the first hit with an axe because I know it's better, and I will use it to try and disable shields, but like, beyond that, I don't really use it, because I'd rather be able to hit more often than not, because my aim isn't too great, and I feel like just swords being able to hit faster but a bit lighter just leads better towards my style of play, so yeah, 49, that's 15 books, that's more than good. If as long as I find a cave that goes down, I'll be more than willing to start rocking and rolling. It's almost turning. No, I've been on the surface for far too long. I should have gone down, but hey. Yeah, having full bright and staying on the surface this late just doesn't mesh well. Like, not having it, I feel like I noticed the dark a lot more, and it would force me to go down a bit earlier, just because, ooh, it's dark. That's the cave time. Unless I see a cave over here, no, I'll go grab them. I'm not gonna say no to more reads, because I just value books too much. Yeah, 59. That's 10 more, so that's at the very least another 3 books. Yep, that's the end of episode 1. I should be caving right now, but there's no caves. I'll see you next time.